Learning how to parry can be rough, especially against real players who move in unexpected ways. This video will show you how to parry the AI in Dark and Darker, which might give you some confidence. This video will specifically be focusing on how to parry the typical skeleton variants. To begin, the benefits of parrying AI are mostly going to be faster clear speed. The quicker you can clear a room, the better. One thing to note, however, is that server lag can be a big negative when it comes to parrying AI, especially with the DDoS attacks that are going on right now with Dark and Darker. Sometimes you just aren't going to be able to parry at all. No blocks are going to register against AI. Keep this in mind if you're struggling, try again later, and don't be discouraged. Starting off with the skeleton footman, they have a regular one-handed sword with two unique attacks. The first attack is a diagonally downward swing from the left and can be easily parried by placing your cursor shoulder height into the left of the skeleton, just beyond their elbow during the wind-up swing. Once you block an attack, just so you know how to do a riposte, release right-click and hold it down again immediately. And if you hold it down, you can do up to 2 riposte attacks or let go of it early to only do the one. For the overhead swing, holding your cursor head height into the left a little bit is going to be enough. There isn't a whole lot of precision required, so you don't have to be exact. Moving forward, we have the Skeleton Guardian, the ones with a shield. These things are they're broken. I swear they have collision issues. You can't parry them. It's impossible. Every attack phases straight through the longsword. You can't block them. Please fix devs. Spear skeletons have 3 attacks, but they're all fairly easy to parry. The first is a standard poke. Just stretch slightly to the right, look at the shaft of the spear, and it's going to be an easy parry. Next is a side swing. You need to back up far enough to be around the same distance or out of the range of the tip of the spear. Looking directly at the spear tip with your cursor will block it. For the overhead swing, you similarly need to be far enough away. Aim your cursor above the skeleton's head where the tip of the spear is coming in. If you're too close to the skeleton, you're going to take damage, so spacing is crucial. Skeleton Axemen are tricky. If you aim too high, you're going to miss and take damage. I found that aiming in this area, between the bottom tip of the axe and the top of the skull, is the sweet spot for parrying that overhead. For the side swing, same as the spear, make sure that you have proper distancing and aim your cursor at the axe head. The skeleton swordsman is probably the easiest to parry out of all of them. You just make sure they have proper distancing to the point where you preferably wouldn't even get hit if you missed your block. Look at the tip of the Zweihander as it's being swung, and it should parry. For archer skeletons, credit to Jamacat for his comment. You can just place your cursor on the tip of the arrow in the bow. This will work from almost any range, even up close, as long as you're standing still, and it allows for consistent arrow parries. Even at different elevations, putting the cursor at the tip of the arrow works for parrying. Crossbow skeletons have a random inaccuracy. It's a variable, so you can't really consistently parry it. Sometimes if you're standing perfectly still, the arrow's just going to miss the crossbow bolt. It's not going to hit you at all. And then if other times it's going to hit you, you can't parry a variable really. It's not really worth trying to. I mean, you can. It's just inconsistent. You're not going to be able to just look at one spot every single time and parry it every time. It's a variable. Both the mummy and zombie have short range attacks, and they're both blocked the same way. Place your cursor on the center of their head and back up slightly out of range of the attack to where you wouldn't get hit even if you didn't block. And it should be an easy block every single time. Mummy lunges are similar, you just need to back up further to not be hit by the lunge. Cursor over the head, easy block. Death Skulls attack your legs. Looking diagonally downwards will protect your legs and block the skull charge. Spiders can be parried by placing the tip of your sword over the left leg. Make sure you're crouching. I don't know why you would ever want to do this, but the waist of the skeleton mage is where you would look if you want to parry a fireball. The skeleton champion is not really worth trying to parry. It's hard to get a riposte off, and it's better just cheese it, to be honest. But if you do want to parry it, for the first swing that comes out from the left, you want to put the tip of your longsword above the left foot a little bit. And also make sure you have proper distancing and spacing away from it, so that preferably you wouldn't actually get even hit by the swing if you did miss your parry. For the right side swing, I don't really have a consistent hold, I can tell you. It's just muscle memory. For the Wraith, again, it's better to just cheese it. There's not really much point to parrying it. But the left swing is pretty simple. You just back up a bit and then aim at the axe that is coming in. The lunge, however, is very inconsistent. It is parryable. I've done it. It's just once out of like 10 attempts. It's not worth trying. I kind of glossed over the mini bosses at the end because I don't really have the confidence to tell you that you can parry them consistently every time just by holding a certain angle, because I myself can't do that. So, but I did include some examples of successful parries on the mini bosses just for example, and kind of how I felt about where to hold for them. So hopefully if you're trying to parry those, I'm not sure why you would, again, just cheese them, but like, hey, you have a few examples to look at now.